Oh yeah, it's your boy Livewire, and I'm back in the motherfucking building, baby. Hold on, I know I gotta. No. Let's see if this shit is working this time because this shit was acting a goddamn fool earlier. You know what,
baby?
There we go. All right, cool. So we live. Yeah, I was on for like 20 minutes and the shit wasn't even fucking working. I'm just sitting there talking to my goddamn self. Anyway, man, what's going on? So Digital Foundry, like I was saying previously, Jesus, basically did their analysis on Spider-Man and Anthem, and they didn't say anything was bad. I wouldn't say that. I just think that, you know, sometimes when they give their analysis, they kind of they give the soft hand approach to PlayStation games. They kind of compliment them on just being, you know, being solid games. But, you know, when it comes to Xbox games, they really go in as far as like doing their analysis. They actually do their job on the Xbox side. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if you get that. What's good, Jeff Chan? But actually, let me take this down because I was doing this for the previous one. I wanted to look at Spider-Man first. There's some shit in here that
I'd agree. And
hold up, god damn it. Turn this shit down. It's a little too loud. All right. So in their analysis, they talk about motion blur and basically saying that, you know, it's used to make, you know, Spider-Man more cinematic, which may very well be the case. I'm not saying that they're lying about that shit. All I'm saying is that, you know, they talk. Well, you know what? Let me see if I can find it where they talk about that shit. No, I gotta turn this shit.
So, I mean, it does kind of still have sort of that clank and that kind of look about
there we go.
For resolution. Everything just, when you combine that with the high enough resolution drive and ratcheting,
here we go.
The best I've seen with tons of samples.
Damn it.
And I think it's actually some of the best I've seen with tons of samples.
Really, son of a bitch. All right, where's this shit at? All right, this should help. All right, there we go.
Yeah, for sure. And then I think the other important element here is that the game relies heavily on motion blur. And I think it's actually some of the best I've seen with tons of samples. We've seen similar effects in Sunset Overdrive and Ratchet and Clank before, I suppose, but it really works well here. When you combine that with the high enough resolution, everything just looks extremely natural to the point where you really could kind of confuse it for pre-rendered CGI at points, I feel. Yeah, it definitely has that kind of look about it, particularly with regards to sort of like the materials on the camera.
Now, I'm actually leave this right here and bounce back out. And
that's the first point.
Hold up. I think they were trying to, I gotta find that shit. That's the problem. Where they talk about motion blur. What the fuck, yo? Thank you. Damn. All right, let me see if I can
7 FPS encode. Let's bang 1-0 on rendering. The long and short of it is, fast motion leaves a faint crisscross pattern where only half the pixels are shaded. Thankfully, screen motion blur helps out massively to hide it. The feed still comes off looking pin sharp, even with a compromise that effectively halves the resolution from 4K. The board taken for Xbox One.
Where's this?
Performance test for this one.
They had this. All right, hold up.
Huge levels of
this shit is bothering me. All right, I'm trying to look for it. They had this part in here. They were talking about motion blur. I think they. This is this thing that sucks. They go through, instead of going straight through, they go through it like twice or some shit. So, fuck. I'm trying to remember if that shit's in the beginning or the fucking end. You know what? Is this it?
Reflections. The air is filled with particles using Frostbite's volumetric fog and smoke to add weight to the scene. Even the opening hub area is nicely fleshed out, filled as it is with active, bustling NPCs, each with detailed motion capture, though a lot of scripting is used here to catch the commotion from the best angle. One area I'm less keen on is the uncanny facial animation. The body movements are great, but the initial character doesn't hold up to the realism of faces used in the Battlefield series. And for all that, the motion blur implementation isn't perfect either. You can see spots in each frame, mainly across grass, where coverage is entirely missing in the demo. Anthem made a hugely impressive debut at E3 2017, but it's a relief we can see all the stitching that holds it together. With no release date in sight, it could be a long wait until we see a final product. It may not end up hitting this demo standards in terms of its narrative beats, but in terms of the rendering setup, all signs point to this being feasible on Xbox One X hardware, with a list of visual cutbacks you'd expect to get this game running on a 6 teraflop GPU at 4K. Technically, we've yet to truly gauge what the machine is capable of in practice, but hitting that mark would be a major statement of intent for Microsoft and for all Frostbite games in the future. And
yeah, so they kind of skim onto motion blur, talking about the usage of it wasn't great, which is weird because it is pre-alpha. They do say that. I can't say that they don't. They do say it's pre-alpha. I don't know. I mean, to me, it just seems kind of. I don't understand how you nitpick something that's so far from coming out. You know, I just baffled by it. I don't see the point in doing it. Like, if a game's coming out, like, are you like beyond good and evil? I think they did analysis on that too, if I'm not mistaken. But it's like that game's not nowhere near coming out. You know. I don't see what's the point of doing an analysis on a game. That'd be like, damn, what's that? What's the movie that? Oh, the Infinity War. They're filming Infinity War right now. That'd be like if they took a slice out of Infinity War, and the shit's not done, and people are trying to do an evaluation on it. Be like, well, you know what? I don't like the graphics in the scene. Bitch, they ain't even close to being done yet. How about we calm down before we get there? But I don't know. It's the language that they use when it comes to games on Xbox. Even when they were basically saying that, you know, the compromises that they made in order for it to run on Xbox. How the fuck do you know? I'm just asking, because they don't talk about compromises when it comes to PlayStation. They talk about how impressed they are. Now that's very odd, especially. You know what? Actually, I want to go back to Anthem real quick, because there was some shit. I'm gonna leave it right on here. Go back to that scene that I have on Spider-Man after I go back to Anthem. What the fuck? Hold on. Hello. Okay. All right. Hold on for a second. I gotta go get some shit. I'll let you watch this shit real quick. Hold up.
Is a realistic one. Especially so given there has to be a degree of multiplayer parity with a standard Xbox One for online play, which is beholden to slower Jaguar CPU cores. Again, we'll have to wait and see, but on console, 30 FPS is a reasonable call to make. And clearly, despite there being so much going on, there are other limits to what the engine is doing. Now, I've said in a recent videocast, on first impression, that I noticed no issues with the demo whatsoever, and that it looked like PC running at max settings. Certainly as far as foliage draw distances, shadows, and the per pixel lighting quality goes, that's true. And thanks to the mechs, you have far more verticality than, say, Destiny, letting you fly through and around levels with more freedom. It's an ambitious open-world design, more in the vein of games like Xenoblade, in fact, but that also means each area has to be designed more meticulously to make sure quality holds up in every corner. After the mixed technical bag that was Mass Effect Andromeda, it's staggering how polished everything in Anthem is. But there's a reason for that. A vertical slice demo like this always shows everything in ideal terms, with the best case scenario. The opening dialogue scenes, for example, are entirely scripted, of course, and flying in the Javelin exosuits is somehow perfectly synced with the animal packs running underneath. This part is too good to be true for the whole game. It's an idealized version of how a mission will play out, but nevertheless...
How the fuck? Again with the bullshit. Too good to be true. Goddamn language. Come on, man. They on that bullshit again. Can we wait until the game comes out before we say it's too good to be true? I'm saying, I don't remember them saying, look at these graphical animations on Spider-Man. Oh, this shit is too good to be true. None of that shit. But on Anthem, it is. I don't fucking get it.
It still blends seamlessly with conventional gameplay, a more grounded, realistic idea of how the action RPG mechanics work. That's when you start seeing both the pros and cons of Anthem's visual settings in the demo. Nothing is perfect, but let's start with the advantages. We're getting a similar physically based approach for rendering materials here, also seen in Star Wars Battlefront, giving an almost photorealistic look to skin shaders, the metal on mechs, and the forest.
Let me see. There was something that they had on
here. Comparisons with the Endor stage in Battlefront are obvious. There's a beautiful winding path packed to the brim with swaying fern trees and even giant AT-AT-esque machines trundling through. You have to wonder if DICE's photogrammetry technique is also used in a similar way here, although with a different location to scan in real-life properties for light, opacity, and so on for every material. Either way, it's very convincing, and impressively, once the action kicks in, the engine is still able to stream in all this detail without too much pop-in. But there is still one caveat, pointing to console-level settings for the game. Objects and trees are unaffected, but I will say ground textures suffer from obvious limits in draw distance. This isn't a texture. As far as foliage draw distances, shadows into slower Jaguar.
I'm trying to look for it. All right, goddammit, this shit is getting on my nerves. All right, where the fuck is this thing? I seen this shit. Is it? No, that's Andromeda. Hold up. Hold up, hold up. I know this shit's in here somewhere. They was talking that bullshit. What was that shit? No, that's not it. They was in the water. Maybe I'm. This it right here? Oh, son of a bitch.
A vertical slice demo like this always shows everything in ideal terms, with the best case scenario. The opening dialogue scenes, for example, are entirely scripted, of course, and flying in the Javelin exosuits is somehow perfectly synced with the animal packs running underneath. This part is too good to be true. It still blends seamlessly with conventional gameplay, a more grounded, realistic idea of how the action RPG mechanics work. That's when you start seeing both the pros and cons of Anthem's visual settings in the demo. Nothing is perfect, but let's start with the advantages. We're getting a similar physically based approach for rendering materials here, also seen in Star Wars Battlefront, giving an almost photorealistic look to skin shaders, the metal on mechs, and the forest.
There we go.
Comparisons with the Endor stage in Battlefront are obvious. But again, we're not necessarily getting the full visual package. See in this battle sequence how screen space reflections work to some curious limitations. Slowing the footage down, all geometry of the world is factored into the water and some light bounce as well. But what's evidently missing is any particle effect reflections for gunfire or from explosions. It's definitely a nitpick, but you have to wonder if there's another level to the rendering setup being reserved for a PC release.
Ooh, I got you, bitch. Now, this is the shit that I wanted to show you. So they just complained about the particle effects not showing up in the motherfucking picture, right? Ooh, I got you, motherfuckers. I got you. Did the right.
All geometry of the world is factored into the water.
Now, you know what? Let's hear it again.
Slowing the footage down, all geometry of the world is factored into the water and some light bounce as well. But what's evidently missing is any particle effect reflections for gunfire or from explosions. It's definitely a nitpick, but you have to wonder if there's another level to the rendering setup being reserved for a PC release. As for using screen space
all right, let me see if I can move this forward a little bit. Oh, damn it. This image isn't the greatest. I'll back it up a little bit more. Okay. Can you kind of see it there? Okay. You kind of see it there. It's harder to see right now, but in Anthem, you can see the reflection of the actual character in the water. But wait. Let's go to Spider-Man.
Characters and environments, they look very natural, and I think that's one of the big things they've taken away from the rendering from Ratchet and Clank and put that into Spider-Man. It definitely has taken away from the rendering from Ratchet and Clank and put that in, and I think that's one of the big things.
All right, goddammit, I ain't want to hear this shit. He's gonna get in the water. Did I pass it already? What the fuck? Yeah, I gotta go back. That's all. How far back do I gotta go? Shit. All right, there we go. All right. Now look, you don't see nobody's reflection in none of this shit. You see their shadows, but none of these motherfuckers have reflections, and they're all standing in goddamn water. Yet in Anthem, we saw reflections. Even right there, look. That's his motherfucking shadow. But that's not his fucking reflection. There's no red, there's no blue. The only red and blue you see is from himself. Now, they didn't complain about this in Digital Foundry. Why? I don't fucking know. But that's just the beginning. Now, look at this. I'm going to look at this little chase right here. Now, and I'm just pointing out shit that I didn't hear Digital Foundry complain about. Now, this is all I'm saying. All right. I'm looking on the window. I don't see anything yet. But you know what? It's kind of far. Let's not nitpick yet. Still going. Still nothing yet. Don't see any reflections yet. But nope, I won't nitpick yet. All right. I'm still not seeing anything. Even though there's a lot of glass here. But I'm still, you know what? I'm going to let it slide for right now. Again, he's standing right next to the fucking window with no reflection. But I digress. Let's proceed. Don't get me wrong. The game still looks good, though. But this is when the shit gets spooky. Nigga, how the fuck is he buy all this goddamn glass and not a reflection at all? And that's not the crazy part. It's not just him. The helicopter, too. Neither one of them show up. Look, the motherfucker just flew around the corner. I'm just saying, you should see that shit in there. You should see the helicopter in there. You don't see none of that. Now, I mean, I'm just saying that's kind of odd to me, you know, due to the fact that they just nitpicked the whole you can't see the particle effects in the water. But yeah, we don't see the goddamn reflection of Spider-Man against the fucking window. I'm just saying, yo, what is good for the goose has to be good for the game. You can't nitpick some shit on Xbox for not having some particle effect. It was like it has everything in there except for the particle effect. Well, this motherfucker ain't got shit in here. No reflection on the fucking water. And no guy, yo, this shit is crazy. They couldn't have complained about that for Anthem because there was a fucking reflection. It's just crazy, man. But let's continue. You know, this is the goddamn Spider-Man Vampire Edition. Because, you know, you can't see his ass and fucking again. This vampire motherfucking Spider-Man. He ain't got no goddamn reflection. I'm just saying, man. Must I proceed? Look, I'm not saying their analysis is whack. I'm not saying that they don't know what they're talking about. I'm just saying they conveniently leave shit out on Xbox shit. And they just, you know, super nitpick. And don't get me wrong, I'm not upset that they nitpick. I'm cool with that. You know, look, if you're going to say, you know, this is important and that's important and this is important, I'm like, cool. That's what's up. But all I'm asking is, if it's important for this game that's on Xbox, please don't just ignore it when PlayStation don't do it. I'm just saying. Because they're both technically open world games, right? They're both, and Anthem is more of a graphically demanding one. So you would assume they would have shit left out, like fucking their
reflections as a technique.
Their reflection. God damn, I gotta turn this shit off. Their damn reflections in the water, but yet they have them. So my thing is, you know what? Actually, I'm gonna pick a different video because this one is kind of fucking wonky. I'm just go straight to Anthem's video. But E3 one, official gameplay Anthem game. I think this is the Yep. All right, cool. But yeah. But Anthem, obviously they have their reflections in the water. And especially from a game that's not coming out, I don't know, Lord knows when this shit's coming out. Maybe 2018, late 2018, early 2019. I'm just saying, to be nitpicking it, but not saying the same thing for Spider-Man, which people believed it was coming out in June. I'm just saying. That's it, man. Shit's too blurry. I can't see. Damn it. Because it's not like a perfect still, so. What the fuck? Oh, what the fuck? If I could see it. Nah, I can't really see it, man. It's just too hard. I'm trying to get a good glimpse of what his reflection. Oh, wait. There we go. So you see it, like you see his outline right here. Like this is him. And down here, I don't know how well it shows up right now, but you can see like his outline, not his fucking shadow like Spider-Man, like his actual outline in the water. See what I'm saying? Like that shit is the shit that you won't see Digital Foundry talk about with Spider-Man. They just completely ignored that shit for whatever reason. Oh shit, where's my phone at? Ah, goddamn. What the fuck I put my... Oh, there it is. Oh, hold up. Whew. All right, man. But yeah, man, that was basically what I wanted to talk about, man. Let me see what y'all thoughts are. Because yeah, that's just wild, man. You know how these motherfuckers. Oh shit. You know what? I'm gonna turn that shit off. I'll go get that shit down in a second. Oh, yeah. But yeah, let me see who's up in here before I dip out. Spiting, what's going on? The grass again. He says no one talks about Xbox X. It's simply running a scalable engine that will be used on all platforms, with results being better better hardware in games. I totally agree. You know, that's the funny thing. They just don't. No respect, man. No respect. They give them no fucking respect. And that was David. Other Zinc, Digital Foundry also says that if you stand across the street and watch TV, you can't tell if it's 4K. Yeah, they still say some crazy shit like, oh, if you back up, certain ways, it doesn't look that bad. I'm like, really? What is this shit? What is this shit that you're talking about? These games are going to look good, especially after they have time. Because look, man, Assassin's Creed is coming out soon. More than likely, they're going to patch that bitch multiple times, especially because, one, they're working on new hardware. They're going to get, a little bit more adjusted to it. So you already know. Look, they was already patching shit multiple times just with the Xbox One version. So they're going to do it multiple times with the Xbox One X version. So, I mean, all these, bullshit about that they're over here analyzing shit before it's even done. I mean, goddamn, when the fuck has, like, I just don't understand, like, when did it become okay to analyze what a dev does on a month's worth of work? That's just insane. I mean, I could understand if it was on PC, but it's on a fucking dev kit that didn't even fucking master yet. Not even coming close to mastering. Didn't have enough time. A month is not enough time to really understand the full grasp of the hardware. Shit, some people can't figure that shit in a year or two. So I fucking know. These guys. I mean, I get it. They're just like super analytical and they analyze shit before. I mean, people do that shit nowadays. They analyze trailers and shit for movies. You know, not the like. Think about a movie like Django. Django had a terrible fucking trailer. I didn't like Django's trailer for shit. But Django the movie was fucking dope. But if it was going to be based on the trailer alone, hell no, that movie wasn't interesting at all. You know, it was word of mouth that got that movie popping because people come back and be like, "Yo, you seen Django? That shit is crazy." It wasn't the trailer. It was other people telling you. So, you know, with these pre-alpha gameplay of like a snippet of game, it's just hard for me to take these guys serious with this shit. All right, let's see who else is up in here. Damien, it's an alpha footage. Yeah, I know, man. It's the same thing I've been saying. It's wild shit. It's like, David, I love how they bring up Mass Effect Andromeda and knowing that this isn't the team that made the game just it. You know, I don't know. They like throwing shade. I mean, but you know, it's the name, so they just slap it together. I don't fucking know. I mean, that would be like Ratchet and Clank coming out, and if it's bad, then bringing up fucking Naughty Dog because they made the original games. It'd be like, these motherfuckers ain't do shit with that remake. They can't be held accountable for that shit. Yeah, they're held accountable for the way the game plays because it's basically the original, but that shit was a long ass time ago. Shit is crazy. It says, and Damien, and what does how the game design have to do with the power of the console? Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Look, man, I don't know if these guys are devs. Maybe they're just PC guys. You know, like, I don't know. Look, as consumers, we're a little bit harsher on people that make products for entertainment. You know, we just consume it, but we don't necessarily create it. And we assume that creating it is simple. But if it was so simple, then we probably would create it instead of just consuming it. I'm just saying. So, you know, like, I just think that a lot of times people that don't know what they're fucking talking about tend to overanalyze shit, assuming that, you know, shit is so easy to do. But I'm just saying, like, yo, if shit was so easy, then you would fucking do it yourself. I'm just saying, it wouldn't be interesting, you know? Like, it'd be no different than watching somebody play a sport. Like, everybody can get up, well, not everybody, but most people can get up and go play basketball, baseball, football if you want to, right? But just because you can play the game doesn't mean you could play it at an elite level. That is completely different. Any Joe Schmo probably can make a game like Flappy Birds, maybe not get the buzz that it got, but they can make a game equivalent to its simplicity, right? Something extremely simple, right? But not everybody can just get up one day and make a game like fucking the Last of Us or fucking Halo or some shit. Like, that shit's some whole other shit. So the fact that these guys nitpick shit in its early stages just is completely asinine to me. Let's see. Who's next? What's up, man? Oh, what's up? Oh, Kelvin, what's going on, man? Says, with all the ray tracing, this allows them to apply a large amount of polygons to the characters. Yeah, so you know what? They talked about God rays in this fucking shit for like 2 seconds. Like that shit is crazy. I don't remember PlayStation ever getting fucking God rays. Never. Xbox game gets it and they just talk over it like, oh yeah, and the shit got God rays. Like, real quick. But they fucking talked about motion blur for a good minute and a half. And be like, yo, this is the best motion blur I ever seen, man. This shit makes it look so much more cinematic at 30 frames per second. I'm just saying, man. That shit's crazy. It's like, Spine said you can't wait for Anthem and Metro. Yeah, I think those are going to be the big, especially if they come out in 2018. Those will probably be the biggest games of the year. Yeah, in the next couple of years, you're going to see a lot of fucking hits come out, man. There's a lot of games coming down the pipeline. You know, so I can't wait. You know, Xbox got their shit coming out probably in 2018, 19, and 20. You know, from sounds of it, like the way Phil has it all set up. So, you know, that's going to be some dope shit. And in the meantime, we got, you know, the games that are already coming in, and the, you know, the other games that are down for 2000 and, well, we got our multiplats. Let's not forget that. Let's see. Mike's up in here. What's going on, Mike? Hit the nail on the head. Yep, I'm telling you, man. Spider-Man No Reflections. I don't know what the Vampire Spider-Man is doing. The others ain't. Same shit goes. Wait, hold up. It says same shit goes on in Infamous Second Son. The reflections in the windows are bullshit. I'm glad you saw this. Yo, look. It didn't even take me that long to see. That's the funny part. I literally just like I was listening to their analysis, and I was like, yo, Spider-Man ain't got no damn reflection. Like the first time. I didn't watch it multiple times. I watched it the first time and I saw it. So that's that shit that, you know, it's just crazy, man. But they're supposed to be these super game announcers. How the fuck you missed that shit? I don't know. Oh, yes. What up, boo? Oh, yes. Y'all heard about that Titanfall Halo Storm? You brought it up. Titanfall 2 is running at 6K. 60 frames per second on the Xbox One. That shit crazy. Obviously, we're only going to see it in 4K. Because ain't no damn 6K TVs. They're just going to super sample down to 4K. But I guess they ain't no shit. They need to shut up about that power shit. The shit is a wrap. Be like, when your console doing 6K, come talk to me. All right, it says witness the truth. PS4 Pro is done. End of the story. Man, I feel you, man. It's just going to only get better. He said, yo, you getting NBA 2K18? I think so. I didn't even see shit from it. Did they show any trailers yet? I mean, I know it's going to be, you know, it's NBA 2K, so it's going to be good, but I'm just saying, you know. Oh, you want? All right, man. We can play NBA 2K18. You know, I usually play with the Nets. I'm gonna either play with the Nets or the Lakers, man. The Lakers are my second team, but since they both suck this year, I only played with the Nets. Because I was like, I'm not gonna subject myself to playing with two bad teams. But the Lakers should be halfway decent, especially because they got the Nets center. And I know how to play with his ass. Even though he wasn't helping me at all yesterday, I was getting my ass whooped because he couldn't hit a damn shot for nothing. Said David, speaking of PC guys, the legendary John Carmack said that the PC equivalent of a console requires twice the power to get the same performance. So tell me what card on the market has over 12 teraflops. Dude, this is what we've all been saying, and bravo to you. Because we all know that for a PC to match what a console is doing, it has to supersede what the console's doing. It can't be equivalent. That's why I'm looking at these PC guys talking all this dumb shit about, oh, if I build a PC with the exact same settings as the Xbox, you're ridiculous. That means that you're gonna get the shittier version every time because you can't have the same settings because you have all that other shit to deal with in the PC. It's just, you know, it's beyond asinine. Beyond it. But yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, man, it's dinner time. It's 6 o'clock. Mooch is gonna be on Crossfire in the next hour. And then I'll be on GRG 2 hours after that. And I'll probably be playing games a little bit later because my wife has to go to a revival. And I opted out, so I'm good. I'm gonna be at home playing games. Well, no, that's not necessarily true. You know, GRG run late as hell. She probably be home before I even get off of that thing. But anyway, man, it's your boy Livewire, and I'm out this bitch, baby. Peace.